Hey y'all, I'm Paula Deen, and believe it or not, my husband Michael and I are going to Europe for the very first time ever. We're going to see London.
Big Ben's wrong. Big Ben is 3 minutes slow.
We're going to experience Paris.
How do you say butter? Is that all the berry you're gonna put?
We're going to meet the people.
Là-dedans, vous avez du poulet de Bresse.
Does anybody know what he said about my breast?
We're going to see the sights.
You just can't appreciate it until you see it in person, can you?
I know it.
And of course, we're going to eat the food.
Who in your right mind would want blood pudding when you can have bread pudding?
And Michael has promised some surprises.
Where are we going? This trip to London and Paris, it changed my life.
So come on, y'all, ready or not, London and Paris, here we come.
I think I might be in heaven. When I was growing up, traveling was non-existent. I don't ever recall my family taking a vacation. A vacation to us was going to Florida to visit my grandparents. When you've spent 20 years suffering from agoraphobia, riding that roller coaster, I mean, just the thought of going to Florida could send you into a panic attack.
With working hard and raising a family, I never really had the opportunity to really even think about travel. So how thrilled was I when Michael gave me my Christmas present?
Paula, I am taking you to Paris. I can't tell you how excited I was when I found out that it was really gonna happen, that I was really gonna get to go see London and really get to go to Paris. It was very exciting to see London through my eyes and through Michael's eyes, because I had had family and friends that had made the trip, and I had heard about it and experienced it through them.
Your
belly's in my way. It was fabulous for us to get it firsthand. First, I could see this big thing from far off that looked like a Ferris wheel. And naturally, I looked over at Michael and said, "Look, can we go ride that Ferris wheel?"
That's Big Ben.
Well, it turned out to be the London Eye. And it's like big capsules.
This is a Scotland Yard here with the stripes on it.
Scotland Yard, so that's where they solve all the crimes, right?
Yeah. And this is a House of Parliament. The red tents are where the lords eat lunch, and the green tents are where the parliamentarians eat lunch.
You've been studying.
I've been reading up.
You have been doing some homework. Oh, I was so excited because it was right there on the river and all the beautiful buildings. It was just breathtaking.
And of course, it didn't take Michael and I long to build up a big appetite. So we ran back to the hotel just in time for high tea.
I think you're really gonna dig this tea.
Oh, I
Good
think so.
afternoon and welcome to the Berkeley.
Hey, thank you. Well, first they asked us what kind of tea we preferred. And of course, I said Louisiana.
The waitress told me, y'all, that fancy English folks wouldn't eat between lunch and a midnight supper. So they had what we know as high tea, an informal meal of finger foods served with tea. It just so happened the week that we were in London, it was Fashion Week going on. So all over our suites were designed in honor of Fashion Week. I gotta have a bite of pocketbook. What you reaching for?
I wanted to take a bite out of your pocketbook.
You already have.
You know, I love sweet and I love savory. So I had a wonderful time going back and forth. But the cutest part was watching this big old river man sit there with his little teacup, sipping his tea. You just can't tell the riverboat man how much you liked it. It'll be our secret.
Okay. Don't tell anybody.
I won't tell if you won't tell.
Perfect.
Now I can say I've really had high tea. Really, the best way to see London is just crawl in the back of one of those taxi cabs. I loved our cabbie in London. His name was John. So adorable. And he was Cockney.
Well, I think we start off with Buckingham Palace, where our Queen lives.
That's great, and maybe by the time the morning's over, we will have gotten rid of your accent. I couldn't understand a damn word he was saying. He took us everywhere,
This is the front door of Buckingham Palace.
but it was like right downtown. And that just blew me away. Because somehow in my head I had kind of pictured it out on this countryside, maybe. Does the Queen ever come out?
The Union Jack's up there, the Royal Standard isn't, so the chances are she's not in.
Well, in the cab, and all of a sudden, we saw these men on horseback, and our cabbie pulled over, let us hop out of the cab and get along the street like we were watching a parade. And come to find out, this was the Queen's Guards. They still have a very formal way of life in many ways over there. And to see this take place was pretty awesome.
This is probably what you know as Big Ben at to the right.
Where's Big Ben? There it is, right there. Big Ben's wrong. Big Ben is 3 minutes slow. You and I have really never been anywhere, had we?
Not far.
And get to do things like this.
I know.
It's wonderful.
And then neat.
And especially getting to do it together.
I know.
It's like we're getting to see the world for the first time.
I know.
Through new eyes, isn't it? Together.
I know.
This is wonderful.
Up next, we're going to be getting a taste of British food.
When in England, do as the English.
And later, a taste of Paris.
We're supposed to be sharing.
I so hope y'all are enjoying the show. And if you do, be sure to click like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you'll never miss a video. And we'll be right back after the break.
There was definitely things that I didn't want to miss in London, that I wanted to make sure was on my schedule. The place that I could not miss was called Harrods. Hey, you look awfully handsome.
Thank you.
It's a department store, and girls, when I tell y'all it's a department store, this is a department store. It's huge. I could not wait to get into the food court because I had heard that they had it all. Well, sure enough, they had it all. Every kind of cheese in the world, every kind of savory pie you could hope to have, seafood, game. But let me warn y'all, in London, they don't cut the chickens' heads off. So when you go to the market and get it, it's still got its head and its feet on it. I told Michael, I said, if that's supposed to make me hungry, it's not working. But that's the way they let their customers know how fresh everything is. Morcilla Spanish black pudding.
Some black pudding.
What is it?
Well, there's two types of Spanish and the British, and basically what it is, it's a mixture of pork mince with a pork blood, dried pork blood. But it's really tasty, really good. It's a British delicacy.
Who in your right mind would want blood pudding when you can have bread pudding? It was wonderful fun just going from one counter to the next, seeing all these different foods.
Harrods did indeed have something for everybody from every corner of the world, but Michael and I were ready for some truly local flavor.
Over there in London, they have like open food markets. I wanted to get in there. I wanted to see the real people that lived in this place. I wanted to see what they really ate. and it was quite an experience.
Londoners, y'all, have been buying their fresh meats and vegetables at Borough Market for centuries. The market originated on the London Bridge in the 1200s, and it's been in its present location since 1851.
I met the cutest bacon man. He actually fried me up some bacon.
Now that's your plain bacon, that one there. You have a bit of, because you had a bit of this streak bit.
And they have bacon over there that I've never seen in America. It was called back bacon, and it was wider, and it had more meat running through it than like a regular piece of bacon.
So it's got the rind still on it, Michael. And a bit of pig hair as well, you can't beat
I
it.
was gonna say I'm picking
Tickles your throat as it goes down.
I'm picking the hair off my...
Oh, why? Tickles your throat on the way
I'm
down.
a sissy. That is yummy, isn't it? You could tell that there was not any preservatives in any of their meat, that it was just as natural as you could get. We don't see that here in the U.S. because there's so many health codes and laws. So I can't tell you what a treat that was. They do a lot of cold pies, and they're in a pastry, and they slice it, and you can see the gel from the meat. May I have?
Certainly. Shoulder of pork, salt and pepper, and a natural bone stock jelly. Basically cold pork. Pork is quite a nice meat cold.
It's
Brings
good.
out a lot more of the flavour when it's cold. This is traditionally a farmer's lunch food.
Lunch?
Yeah. He would take it out in the field. Traditionally, he would break the pastry away, throw the pastry away. Pastry was purely to protect the meat. But obviously, as time goes by, people realised if you made a nice pastry, you enhanced the product.
The pastry is what makes it.
Yeah.
Let me tell y'all about this stand that we found. I said, oh my goodness, these people are after my own heart. Any of those that have watched my show know anything you can do with a potato, I just love.
And I've heard about a sandwich called a chip buddy.
Yeah, I can do one of those for you.
You can do one for me?
Yes, with pleasure.
Let me tell y'all something. It was French fries on buttered bread. I said, oh my goodness, I found home.
Oh my gosh.
I eat mayonnaise with my French fries. And I tried my best to talk her into putting me some mayonnaise on that bread.
You don't think it needs any mayonnaise?
No, you spoil it. When in England, do as the English.
A potato is my favorite food in the whole entire world. I think I might be in heaven. I'm gonna go back home and I'm gonna fix my family a chip buddy sandwich, and they're gonna think I've truly lost my mind.
Coming up, y'all, things are gonna get just a little cheesy.
This better be some good cheese, McKella.
Well, I hope you like it.
Get me in this outfit.
And then it's off to the races.
I got it, don't I? By George.
I hope y'all are enjoying the show, and I want to hear from you. Tell me what recipes or videos you'd like to see me make by just leaving a short comment below. Now, let's get back to the show, y'all. This was our last day in Britain. And before we headed to Paris, y'all, Michael and I figured it was time to visit that quaint English countryside. Windsor is a beautiful town just outside of London and home of the famous Windsor Castle.
I knew that I couldn't miss Windsor Castle. It's where, like, the princess would stand in the window and she would have the long plaited hair and she'd hang her hair out so her prince could climb up her hair and get her. How romantical is that? Out at Windsor Castle, guess what time it was? It was lunchtime. So we found this wonderful little pub that was located right next to the castle. And I have heard so much about English pub food. Couldn't wait to try it. I had the fish and chips that were just delicious. And then Michael had steak and ale pie. Just looking, I want some fish and chips. Look at that, Michael.
Oh, that looks great.
Fish and chips began being served in England in the 1800s and became popular as a quick hot meal in busy seaside towns. That fried cod served with those thick-cut fries was delicious.
What is this?
Steak and ale pie.
Steak and ale pie evolved from using leftover beef, tenderized with beer to give it a rich flavor. Y'all know I love blue cheese, and the folks at the pub told us about this little farm just down the road where they make the absolute best.
In this fabulous drop-dead setting. It's a one-woman operation. She makes all the cheese herself, and she sells it to specialty shops.
So if you can put that on, Paula, and then Michael, actually you can have one of these ones.
Is this one size fits all?
Yeah.
Even though blue cheese has mold growing in it, it can't be the wrong kind, which means you've got to keep very strict hygienic rules at the cheese factory.
This better be some good cheese, McKella.
Well, I hope you like it.
Get me in this outfit. I came here to have blue cheese today, but I don't see any blue in it.
Well, it is actually in there, Paula. I know.
It's in there?
The penicillin is in there, but it doesn't activate. I'll show you in a minute. In the maturing room, you'll see that the cheese starts off white, and then after about 10 days, the blue just starts growing on the outside. And then we spike the cheeses, because we have to spike the cheeses so that the air can get in, so that the mould can grow. And that's how you get like the blue veining, you know, like the blue veining in the cheese. But I'll show you that in a minute.
Milk, penicillin, and vegetarian rennet were mixed in the vat the night before to start forming the curd. Cutting the curd was the way Michaela began separating the solid curds from the liquid, which we know is whey. Now, she doesn't use the whey, so it's drained and the curds are eventually placed in the molds that give them shape as they start the aging process, which usually takes about 5 weeks.
This is the best blue cheese I've ever tasted. It's so creamy, like our blue cheese is very crumbly.
All right.
And this is just like butter.
Our last stop, y'all, was at the Windsor Great Park, where we had a treat that had absolutely nothing to do with food. We got to experience the English pastime of carriage racing.
Watch the horse food. You're making me step in it. Dadgummit. I got to meet up with the cutest man named George Bowman, and he took me for a carriage ride.
Would you care to join me on the carriage?
I would just love to join you on the carriage.
Now, y'all, I've been in plenty of carriages back in Savannah, but the English have made it a whole sport of its own.
It's a contest, but it's not necessarily a speed contest. It's different maneuvers. How are you?
Very well, darling. I do have a very jealous wife.
Oh, well, these horses can outrun her. But look.
I keep an eye on her, George.
Oh, is there? I say, you're quite safe. She's got security on.
I don't have a jealous husband, though.
Where's my whip?
He was loads of fun. When he talked, it was in a very formal way, but yet he was cutting jokes with me.
When your president, Reagan, was over visiting the Queen, and they were out for a drive in this very park.
No.
And the horse was making rude noises. And imagine she said to Mr. Reagan, she said, "I'm very sorry, President, but there are things even we royalty have no control over." He said, "That's okay, Mom. If you hadn't said anything, I'd have thought it was the horse."
He took me for a carriage ride. And then I took him for a carriage ride. And he let me wear his hat.
Come on. Just walk, come on.
Oh my goodness. Give it a good pull.
I
got it, don't I? By George, I can do this thing. Whoa! I'm so grateful. You were such a wonderful, kind sport.
You made a wonderful job of driving it, boy. It's amazing, actually.
It was wonderful fun.
When we come back, this girl is getting her just desserts.
Look, this is the way you do it.
And later, a Paris treat you won't forget. I so hope y'all are enjoying the show. And if you do, be sure to click like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you'll never miss a video. And we'll be right back after the break.
London was amazing. And to get to Paris, we decided to take the train over, which was a beautiful trip. And I got off of that train in Paris, and I was almost speechless. You know, I wanted to do this, you know, are you really here? Are you really in Paris, Paula? The city of romance and dreams and food, people, and the shopping. Oh, girls, you could shop till you drop.
They say the best way to see Paris is to just walk around with your sweetheart and stop when it strikes your fancy.
Oh my goodness, look at him. Let's go in here.
I have to tell you about all the pastries there. What's the best?
What do you prefer, chocolate or fruits?
Yes.
He likes them all. Michael adores sweets. Well, the patisseries over there are unbelievable.
We're supposed to be sharing.
Huh? Michael and I look like pigs. In fact, I think we were. I think we probably overdid it. Can we have one of those, please, too? But when you know you're gonna have only one visit, we could not limit ourselves to one thing apiece.
Originally, pastries were only available to the very wealthy. But after the French Revolution, these beautiful artworks made of cake and such became available to everybody and now are just a sweet part of everyday life.
And I'll tell you something else. These shops are not hard to find. I mean, they're on every corner. Look, this is the way you do it. Oh, in the patisserie, I almost hurt myself. I had some kind of pastry. It had like a pistachio shortcake bottom. It's so stinking good. This is pistachio. This is like an egg custard, a soft egg custard pie. We had a selection of like 6 pastries, I think. And you know, we ate every one of them. You know, I didn't see a lot of fat Parisians either. They drink a lot of wine, they eat their bread, they eat their butter, and they eat all these pastries. You know, I say, how can they stay so skinny? Oh, look at people just laying around on the grass. Does this remind you of Forsyth Park?
Only nicer.
We got to go through one park over there, and it was a beautiful park, and, you know, people strolling through the park. I mean, you can look at these people, you can observe them, and tell that they know how to live and know how to enjoy life. They didn't appear to me to be a bunch of uptight people. There was a young man in the park playing hacky sack right by himself.
I want to play with you.
Not the corner. Okay, again.
Oh! You're not supposed to do it. I knocked him in the head, Michael. Thank you for playing with me.
Have a nice day.
You too.
It was a good thing that we were walking because we were steady building up an appetite. We went to one bread place and they had all these different kind of breads. And we walked in, I said, how am I gonna make up my mind? What do you recommend?
Bacon.
Let's get one of those.
Yeah.
I chose a bread with bacon in it. I said, this is too perfect. Bread and bacon, all in the same bite. Look at that bacon in there, Michael.
Delicious.
There really aren't like us, especially down here in the South, where you buy a loaf of bread and you keep it around for 5 days to a week to make your sandwiches with. It's not that way over there at all. The people in Paris buy their bread fresh daily because they don't fill them with preservatives. It's a natural product. And they have got the art of baking bread down to perfection. Wouldn't this be wonderful with some grits and fried eggs? One of my favorite little finds while we were in Paris was it was like a restaurant supply house, only it was open to everybody. We walked up and I could look through the plate glass window and see all this kitchen stuff. You know how you felt in that patisserie shop? I feel the same way in here, just like I could puddle. Parlez-vous anglais?
I can speak English, yes.
Yes, how are you?
Fine, and you?
Is this a restaurant supply house?
Everybody.
You'll take everybody's
Yeah,
money.
sure.
You won't discriminate.
Yes, right.
Good. Oh my goodness, I saw so many things that I'd love to take home. But the suitcase is only so big, so I can't. I spotted all this fine quality copper. I wound up buying 2 roasting pans. And you pick them up and, I mean, they're heavy. They'll last for years and they'll be there for my great-grandchildren when they're ready to cook. Unbelievable quality of pots and pans. After we left there, we went up to Montmartre. And it was like all kind of shops and cafes. And around the square of the park was all these wonderful artists working on their art in the square. And the people were just jam-packed in there. I mean, you bumped against each other.
Artists really made this place famous. Great artists like Toulouse-Lautrec lived here because it was cheap. It had great nightclubs like the Moulin Rouge and the Folies Bergère and was full of pretty girls.
We went up to the Sacred Heart Church and it's set up on a big hill and you could look down and see the entire city of Paris. Unbelievable. And then it had steps, almost like if you were gonna be sitting on the steps watching a football game. Only it wasn't a football game you were watching, it was the city of Paris.
Next, y'all, I meet a man that's after my own heart. And later,
Well, you have to wait. It's a surprise.
Michael gives me the surprise of a lifetime. I hope y'all are enjoying the show, and I want to hear from you. Tell me what recipes or videos you'd like to see me make by just leaving a short comment below. Now, let's get back to the show, y'all.
I think my all-time favorite thing in Paris was something that was so very simple, and that was the outdoor market. I had been to the outdoor market in England, and I have to say the outdoor market in Paris was truly unbelievable. For those of you that have not been to Paris, just to come to their markets is worth the trip. I'm in food heaven.
I learned that each outdoor market in Paris has its own specialty. There was one for birds, one for books, and this one which featured regional organic foods.
Unbelievable. Doesn't get much fresh in this, does it?
They do crepes, or as we call them, crepes. They call them crepes. But they do those over here like we do hamburgers in America. Crepes. With savory, sweet. Like I said, I don't see how those folks over there can even walk. They should be fat as ducks. Look at that. She knows just how much to put on there.
Uh-huh.
Plenty of butter. Lots of butter.
Extra butter.
How do you say butter?
Beurre. Beurre.
Bear.
Beurre.
Bear. 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 Is that all the bear you gonna put?
More bear.
More bear. Yes, you missed the spot right. Yes.
I learned that crepes originally came from the Brittany region in France, where the land was too poor to grow enough wheat to bake breads. So this thinner pancake was a way to stretch what flour they had.
It's wonderful in there. I would love for our house to be right over there. And with the kitchen.
Kitchen ready, huh?
And you and I could just run over here and get stuff and cook and eat all day. Can I tell y'all something? This girl was in her element when she found the chicken man.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, holy cow.
Holy chicken.
Holy chicken. You roasted these chickens, and at the bottom, y'all, of this roaster, it was just piled up with new potatoes that had been peeled. And then these chickens were seasoned and put on these racks, and all that drippings from the chicken, guess where they went? On the potatoes. It was heavenly. Parlez-vous anglais?
Non, je parle français, c'est déjà pas mal. OK? Comment on les fait? Vous parlez américain? Yes! Oh!
He was so adorable, and he cooked chicken that was almost as good as the Lady and Sons.
En France, nous ne vendons que du bon poulet. Là-dedans, vous avez du poulet de Bresse. Le
Brest!
Le Brest! Brest!
I got that!
Madame, elle a ce qu'il faut où il faut. Ça s'appelle les canons de Navarone. Ça. Les canons de Navarone. OK? Yes!
Yes! What did he say about my breast?
I don't know.
Does anybody know what he said about my breast? And he invited me into his booth to have some of his chicken. I have to tell you, that chicken was to die for. That chicken was out of this world.
Very good.
Very good.
Yes.
I think I got me a boyfriend for life, actually.
Les Français sont formidables. OK?
French are one? Yes, y'all are.
Ouais. Et les Américaines aussi.
I think one of the highlights of Michael's trip was Maison du Chocolat. You know, you've probably been preparing for this all your life.
I have. This is like the Super Bowl for
The
me.
Super Bowl.
Oh my goodness, like a kid in a candy store. I've been saving myself for this.
You hadn't done a good job of saving yourself.
A man named Robert Linkshaw set up his first chocolate workshop in the 1970s in a wine cellar, making his chocolates all by hand. And today, he has shops in New York, Tokyo, and London as well.
You want to taste?
Yes. You ask a fat girl if she wants to taste a piece of candy, the answer would be yes. Oh, we went in there and we just ate and ate and ate. Thank you. Can't miss this place. You must do it.
You have a big box?
Yes, big box. This?
I think just a small box.
Yeah, maybe a small one.
The thing that I associated Paris most with was like little sidewalk cafes. I expected every restaurant to have little round tables where the locals would come in and have their coffee or an afternoon tea or a snack. And we went to this one place that was just as I had pictured it.
Cafes in Paris are havens from the hectic city life. You know, some folks pop in and stand at the bar for a quick coffee, but for a lot of folks, a cafe can be a home away from home, a place to read a paper or bump into a neighbor, or just sit back and enjoy the city as it goes by.
I think Paris is truly a place for lovers. Such a romantic city. What really took my breath away, you can sit around and you can see pictures of it and you can think about it, but the Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower will take your breath away. Reckon how long did it take us to climb those steps?
You wanna go try?
No. But do you think it would take us a day?
Well, it depends on if they've got a hospital halfway.
You just can't appreciate it until you see it in person, can you?
I know it.
That brought tears to my eyes. It was breathtaking. I kept telling Michael, my children need to be here. They need to see this. This is a city for young, in-love people. We've got to encourage our children to come here.
I know it.
Next, Michael surprises me with a Parisian memory that's gonna last me a lifetime. I so hope y'all are enjoying the show. And if you do, be sure to click like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you'll never miss a video. And we'll be right back after the break.
Mine and Michael's dreams have always been on a smaller scale of trips that we might be able to take together. And the neat thing about our trip was the fact that we discovered it together. It was not like one knew more than the other. Both of us together were just in awe of where we were. And the fact that we were together, you know, it just doesn't get any better than that, does it? Michael and I had had such a fabulous time. Such a wonderful time together. And he surprised me by saying, I've got one more surprise for you. And I said, well, what is it? He said, just get ready and I'll show you. So where are you taking me?
I've got a special surprise for you.
You do? Where are we going? He led me up onto the roof, top of the Four Seasons in Paris, overseeing Paris.
Isn't that great?
And this beautifully dressed table, sitting there on the tip top of this building, filled with all kind of delicious food.
How's that for a view?
I can't tell y'all the feeling that came over me. Makes me want to tear up just to talk about it. Oh, you have tears in your eyes. Oh. I've wondered more than once, how could a little girl from Southwest Georgia wind up in the middle of Paris, looking at the Eiffel Tower, surrounded by all this beauty.
I'll never forget this as long as I live. It's unbelievable.
He still had one more surprise in him. And that was the surprise that truly knocked me over.
Madame, monsieur. Bonjour, y'all.
Nice surprise!
Can you believe it?
Hey, people.
Hey.
Oh,
Les mama. Oh, mom.
Oh. I've been trying to call you.
We weren't there. We was in Paris.
What are y'all doing here?
We're hungry.
Oh my God, I told Michael I was at home.
You okay?
Y'all in Paris. Did you know it? Did you know you're in Paris? Yes. Are y'all on a dream? Did you know they would come?
Yeah, it was a plan.
Michael set it up months ago.
No.
Yeah. Yes.
I wanted y'all to come to Paris so bad.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, I love y'all so much.
Oh, we love you. Isn't this beautiful?
I couldn't believe it when I turned around and saw my children. I had pined for them all week. And then all of a sudden they were just there, right in front of me. It's a wonder the old girl didn't have a heart attack. It's too much for an old lady. There has been nothing like it, and I know there never will. Like that moment on top of that hotel in Paris, France. My heart is so full.
Let's raise a glass. Cheers.
So full.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers to a beautiful family.
This trip to London and Paris, it changed my life. I think it's made me realize that this great big world that we live in is really, when it gets right down to it, not that big. You know, people are people wherever you go. And there's so many wonderful, wonderful people out there to meet and wonderful things to see. All you have to do is make the effort.
Who's running the restaurant?
Hey y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, y'all.